What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brian from American Auto. And although we're not done with the Challenger yet, we are moving on to another project for a minute. And let me show you what that project is. Let me introduce you to the new to me 1966 Mercury Monterey. I did a little short video on this. Nothing major. She's dirty. Got her moved up here to the house. We got to get her cranked up. Now, I did work on it a little bit, and that was literally just to get the front brakes broke loose, and that way I could get it moved up here so I could work on it. But otherwise, she's a cold soldier. So I'll tell you more about that in just a second. So right off the bat, I know we're missing a couple things, like that vent right there. Okay? I'll have to order that. But the car is very, very, very solid. She's not junk. There's something that goes right there, and I want to say that's a bright light detector, maybe. They had those in the 60s. So for all you young folks out there trying to jump on here and say, they didn't make that. Yes, they did. So we're going to start back here in this 3,000 foot box called a trunk. Now I know what's already in here because I've been in it. We have a spare tire. We have the breather. We have two said poverty caps and the brakes that I took off of those. We have Mouse House 1, Mouse House 2. Yes, I know that's in there. But look at this, guys. A little bit of surface rust, nothing major, but she is clean. I don't know why there's a shower curtain back here. I hadn't figured that one out yet. But otherwise, a clean example. Now, let me show you the inside of this car. We have a back seat. Okay. There's a breather over there, or not a breather, but a filter over there. Now, as you can guess, the headliner on this is shot. And not really shot, it's just sagging right there and up at the front, so I might can fix that. But we have some speakers. Yeah. I think that's supposed to be dome lights back here of some sort. Mosquito. But notice there's no headrest on the seats. Now, this floorboard right here is very awesome. This piece of carpet is from that side. This floorboard here, yes, will have to be replaced. Oh, no, I know what that is. It ain't that the floorboard's bad. That's your quick connect to your e-brake. Yeah, that's what it is. Now, let's see what we have here. Not real sure. Receipts from Hardee's, the official old people lunch. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of snooping in this car. What I can tell you is just like the plastics back here are shot, or the vinyl. Now, what I can tell you is every one of these cars came with a pile of ashtrays. But we have crank down windows. Yep. We have lockage. But even better, notice what's right here. This is a hardtop car, so that means no post, guys. No post. That is super cool. We got a battery hold down tray. Yeah. Now let's hop in the front here. Like I said, I overlooked the Mouse House down here. Antennae. I don't know why I threw that up here when I did that the other day. We have speaker down here. We have speaker up here. We have speaker over there. And what do we have here but the 1966 Mercury AM radio? Look at that beautiful dash cluster, guys. You just don't see stuff like that anymore. You really don't. Look at them beautiful pedals. Look how clean the pedals are. Guys, this car has 52,844 miles, and I have no reason to believe that's not actual mileage. Look at them pedals. I mean, look at the floor pan. There's not even any real bad wear spots. Oh. See if there's anything in the glove compartment here. Oh, more mouse house. Emergency flashers. Huh, they work. Look at there. Guys, I did put a battery in this. Recommended something. Full rate load table. There's that. Somebody liked lottery. Yeah. Guys, really what I see on this is a whole lot of cleaning. Maybe some mechanical. We know for a fact it has 0 brakes. Let's get under the, as Vice Grip calls it, the power barn, and see what we got. Leave it down in the comments below what you think is under this hood. Go ahead and pause it. Do that now. Okay. If you guessed anything smaller than a big block, you're wrong. Overlooked my little janky fuel pump. I put that up here for you guys so we can try it out. But then I realized I don't have no gas. So we'll get some gas tomorrow. So we have a 4-barrel on this guy. Yeah. And that appears to be a factory 4-barrel. AC, power brakes, power steering. On a 390. I guess it's a 390. It says it is. It calls it as it. But, yeah, who knows? Anyway. So, first and foremost, we're going to pressure wash this bad boy. So, I'm going to set you guys on time lapse and we're going to pressure wash it and see how it turns out. Hang tight, guys. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. There's its first bath in 30 years I know of. This car was parked in a garage in 1994. It's like 29 years, 30 years. What's 1 year difference on something this old? But its first bath in 30 years. And you can actually see inside of it now. What do you say, everybody? It's the next day. We pressure washed this yesterday, let it set overnight. What do you say we see if we can get it to fire up and then see if we can get some brakes on it? What do you think? You want to try? I think we should try. Hang tight. All right, so off camera, I went ahead and just, y'all seen it 1,000 times, so there's no sense in me going through it again. When I know all of you watch Vice Grip Garage, Junkyard Digs, and all them, y'all already know right off the bat, first thing you're gonna have to do is sand your points. So that's already been done. We had fire a minute ago, but we gotta get some fuel in it. So I've got this just zip tied onto here. I've got the main fuel pump here taken loose. That goes down to the block, wherever that is. Now, I know the fuel tank on this car has a hole in it, so I know there ain't no gas in it, so we ain't gonna be pumping no junk into here. So it kind of accidentally helped us in that manner. So we're gonna figure out somewhere to get some go juice for right here, and yeah, and get the starter button hooked up, so hang tight. Alrighty, got our little jumper wires here for the fuel pump. We don't want that on the manifold, on the exhaust manifold. This is my positive side here, so we're just gonna hook it over here to my jump wire. I've got last year's gas, lawnmower gas right there. Already turned the key on. Got a small leak out from there, but that's probably from that. We have accelerator pump. Let's see if she fires. Cut. Well, that's a good sign, guys. And we had the oil pressure. No. Well, I went ahead and cut that fuel pump loose because after it fired up, it started leaking real bad back there. Maybe I should have put an actual hose clamp on that instead of a zip tie. One. And two, maybe, just maybe I should have actually used, oh, I don't know, some fuel line. Just a thought. But it runs. It fired right up. I'd already primed it over and all that stuff, guys, so there ain't no sense in me trying to lie to you, tell you I didn't know it was gonna somewhat do that. So that was the first part of it. As you see, we have no belts on it there. Yeah. And I can get another 100,000 miles out of that. What do you think? Might be good for at least 10 miles. And I mean, shoot, that right there, well, yeah, that's perfect. Anyway, guys, let's jump on the brakes here and see what happens. All right, everybody, we back. It's another day, and apparently East Tennessee's moved about 4 miles closer to hell because it is that hot here. But we're working on the brakes on this car now already, on this Mercury. Now I already took the master cylinder off and redid that. Got the master cylinder working as best I can tell. I had it working the other night. Had the wife in there pumping the brakes, and the front brakes was doing what they're supposed to, stopping or locking up and all that. Now I'm working on the rears, and we have scale rust. And like I say, guys, this car is set for 30 years. So you run into issues with your brakes after a car's been sitting that long. So we'll hop up under here and I'll show you what I'm dealing with. And yeah, my idea to fix it. So now, as I said before, out here we're in the rock pit because I've got the Challenger inside. So we're working under the car, laying on the rocks and all that jazz, which makes this just that much easier. So I've gotten that flange nut out. It's right here, but as you can see, it twisted off. Now, guys, I was heating on this and soaking it in penetrant and all that, just like I did that up there and the other side. And as you can tell, it still didn't let go. So what we're going to do is up there, right? Let's see if I can get in and show you. Where are you at? Anyway, right up there is a union that somebody put in before, okay? I am going to utilize that union wherever it may be. Maybe if you zoom in, you can see it. It's there somewhere. Anyway, I know I'm getting good brake fluid flow to there, so I will hook on to that union and come back and redo all the brake lines from there back to here. So, yeah. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, guys. So we've been at it again all day. Finally got the brakes operating on the front. I know that's not good, but it will work for right now for me to get this car moving. Now, got the gas tank. Found a pristine gas tank for a 1966 Mercury Monterey. And you can't ask for no better than this. It was like $65 or something, not too expensive, and it's made just for this car. Yes, sir. I'm taking a book out of the Vice Grip Garage page, but found that over at Academy, and of course it's not going to stay with the car, but this will work for me to get the car up and going, and then from there, obviously, I'll get the right tank for it. But for right now, just to get this up and going, yeah, that works. That's the fuel line coming in back there. I'm not sure what it is, but it is. But the other problem we're facing, guys, is get all that going, trying to get it pumping fuel up to here, and it wouldn't pump no fuel up. I even tried running that pump and this. I even cranked the car up. Matter of fact, let me make sure I turn the key off. I did not. Okay, guys, on these old cars like this, you don't want to leave the key on like that. And the reason being is because your coil will burn up that way. And we don't want that to happen. Let me make sure it's not hot. Shoo! It is hot. Burning up hot. Yeah. So that's the reason you don't want to just leave the key on. It's okay when it's running, but you leave the key on, it will burn up that coil, which I might have already burnt that coil up. But in the meantime, we are working on this guy. Yeah, see a problem with that? Fortunately, I have one in stock, thanks to Top Notch Trees, which is that guy right there. And because he didn't put it on that car, it's now in my stock, which works out perfect for what I'm doing. So we're going to get this thing. I got to make a gasket for it out of that stuff there. That's gasket material. So I got to make a gasket for the fuel pump. Then we'll get it put back on, and I've got to run a new line from the fuel pump up to the carb. So we'll get that together, and I would show you guys putting the fuel pump on, but it's so tight in there. And I broke another swivel. Yay me. I don't know if that's called winning or what. I'm hell on tools, guys. But, hey, you can't break them if you don't use them, right? Anyway, so let's get this fuel pump put back together. We'll get it back on the car and should be able to fire it up. So, I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Okay, ladies and gents, another day. Today is finally Saturday. Now, I thought I was going to be able to come out here and just move on to the next problem that needed to be fixed. But instead, I'm an idiot and I got in way too much of a hurry yesterday, and yeah, I messed something up. So the hard line that comes from the fuel pump up to the carburetor was rotted and broken and all that jazz. Okay, now I can still use pieces of it, which is what I'm going to end up having to do. But let me show you what happened. I just simply came right off the fuel pump way back there and up through the hole where the hard pipe came and went straight up to the carburetor just to get this thing running. Well, just a few minutes ago, I came out here and noticed a drip under the car. Well, I don't know if you can see it right there. Let me scroll in. Well, I guess I'll just have to point it out to you because my phone ain't going to focus. But right there, that goes up through there is the fuel line. You see what's right there? Yeah, that hose rubbed it. It only ran for a second yesterday, so this is something like, there's the little gas leak. Not the big one, but the little one is the gas leak. So that just popped up this morning. And I haven't even cranked the car up yet. But I'm glad I found that when I did, because I don't want to burn this car down. So we're going to go ahead and get that replaced and repaired. So I'll probably cut it down there, attach that hard line back to it to come up through all this mess right through here, bring that hard line up through here, and then go back to the carb with it. Now what I will say is yesterday when I got the car cranked up, that new fuel pump had it pumping fuel out of both vents, and I did the TT with the hammer, the technical tap, 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 tap across the front and back, and my God, guys, this thing ran so much better, and it wasn't flooding. Still don't have no gas in the oil, so that's a good thing. So yeah, so we're gonna run and get some hose clamps because I have been piecing everything together on this. So we're gonna go run and get some hose clamps for that, and maybe some more hard line. I don't know yet for sure. And then we've got to move on to the vacuum brakes, because in a few seconds I had it cranked up yesterday. Without the car running, I've got awesome, hard, firm, good brake pedal. Crank the car up and the vacuum booster right there, the pedal sticks to the floor. All right, so we got that hose fixed. Only took a minute. I wasn't thinking about it yesterday when I put it on there because, like I said, I was in such a hurry that I didn't even consider the loop hanging out. But anyway, we're back now with the new hose, or not the new hose. I literally had to cut off like 6 inches of it because it was about that much too long. Now we're gonna put the keys in here. And keep in mind, guys, the ignition on the inside of the car does not work right yet. I don't know what's wrong with that. Hadn't looked at it yet. But we're gonna see if she'll fire up this morning. Caught that, but that was the metal transmission line coming from the cooler that had a perfect little stream. So the answer is super clean. We're gonna spray it with that and let it sit. Now I'll get up under there with the water hose, spray it off, and then we'll go get some parts. So hang tight for that, guys. We'll be back in just a minute. So guys, we're back. Still working on the Mercury. I kind of drove it around the yard, and it's a good thing this is not smell-o-vision, because you would understand why I'm not driving it now. Well, several reasons. One, in order to crank this thing up, you had to get out and do it with the lone wolf. That guy. Number two, the brake pedal sticks to the floor when it's running. I think I know what that is. But number three, that brand new fuel pump I put on here yesterday that I had in stock that I got from Jared, well, let's just say it's pumping really, really good, just to the wrong place. So the ignition does not work in this car. That's why we've been having to use the lone wolf. So I decided to start checking it. Well, really cool is on these old cars, you see that little lever right there sticking out? Well, if I move the shifter, it operates that, which in turn pushes that, which in turn is supposed to have this spring inside. Now, I will get a new neutral safety switch, but if I slide this over to the neutral position here, somewhere up in there, the ignition works perfect, car cranks up, yada yada. So what I'm thinking in the meantime, because all that is you've got two sets of terminals, one for neutral, one for park, right? So what I'm thinking is if I go to that plug right there where all that green corrosion is, and I don't know, tab them two together and them two together, it should work, maybe. If not, we'll burn the car down, so it'll make for a good video, maybe. I guess we'll just see. So hang tight. If I come back with a burnt crisp car, you'll know what happened. The car did not burn to a crisp. What I did, just to hold it over, I don't know what that wire goes to, probably the speaker over here. But what I did just to hold it over is I put that neutral safety switch on backwards, so that way that little flap just does not hit the thing. And I taped it into the neutral position so it can't move. Now we have ignition. So now we go back and pull that stupid fuel pump back off now. Okay, so fuel pump acquired right here. And now we're working our way back to the house again. Yay, so many times. And even better, this fuel pump, I do want to say thank you to Jared, because I mean, he just handed me that one, didn't charge me nothing for it, and it was supposed to be brand new, and it probably was. There's probably a little minor difference between this one and the one that I got from him. I know that Torino had a 351 in it, and that's what he ordered the fuel pump for, was the one with the 351. This car has a 410 in it, so there must be just a slight bit of difference in the crank stroke. Actually, I'm an idiot. There's a big difference in the crank stroke from a 351 to a 410, 428, and all that. And I'll guarantee you that's what broke that fuel pump, was the size of the crank. So, lesson learned, guys. Lesson learned. Obviously, you can't use a fuel pump from a 351 on a 410, 428, 429, yada, 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 because of that. But guys, wait till I get this thing out and show you. It don't even look broke. Like, it's literally coming out of the pinch seam. So, I don't know. But I'll bring you guys back when we make it to the house. Guys, it's a whole nother day. Today is Sunday. I should be putting a video together and getting it uploaded. So this one means it's going to get uploaded later tonight. Sorry about that. But let me show you. So in your own guesstimations, you have to remove the AC compressor. You have to remove the power steering. And that's just so you can see the fuel pump that sits way down in there. You can barely see it back there. Anyway, so after you get all that moved, then you have to finagle a short wrench, a long wrench, and a 1/4" drive 9/16 on a swivel with a whole bunch of extensions. But not to be outdone, you have to use this one too. And that's with all that stuff out of the way, guys. I'm telling you, I hope I never have to do another one of these. But now that's in there, it should work fine, because that's the one that's properly to this engine. So all I've got left to do at this point is hook up the fuel lines. And then we got to deal with that guy. So, yeah. All right, guys, we got it back together, got the hood shut down. I just bypassed that brake booster for right now. But we got the ignition fixed, check it out. We have some sort of brakes and a car that moves and stops. That's going to do it right here. So, guys, it's been a hard several days on that, but we got the other parts that came in for the Challenger to repair the rest of the rust in the back deck, back window deck. So we're going to go ahead and get back started on that tomorrow morning. So while I was waiting on parts for the Challenger is why I was working on the Mercury. And in just that few day period, we took a car that's been sitting for 30 years and got it to that. Now, the next video on the Mercury, I will show it. We will drive it down the road for sure, 100%. I drove it around the yard yesterday until I realized the fuel pump was dumping gas out. But from that to now, we have an operating car. Ish. Still need to pull the carburetor off, clean it. Still need to put a set of spark plugs in it. Still got to put a fuel tank in it, a real fuel tank. But as for right now, that's it on this one. It runs, it does drive, it does stop. Got some of the best power steering I have ever felt in my life, guys. One finger just turned. Anyway, so that's it on the 1966 Mercury Monterey for right now. And guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this car. Tell me what color you think I should paint it besides black. We're not doing black. I'm thinking the baby blue and white, kind of like the original color that was on it. But we're going to drive this car and enjoy it some before it gets sold. But this car will be for sale. If you're interested in it, let me know. Yeah, so that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Go check out my buddies, Pole Barn Garage, Golden Rust or Bust, Top Notch Trees 23, Vice Grip Garage, and Junkyard Digs, and Junkyard Moot. They just did a really awesome Oldsmobile. It was a 76 88. If you know, you know. It's kind of like a 225, kind of. Anyway, guys, so that's going to do it. Remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it don't change you. Here lately, everything I've been doing has been a challenge. And for that, I've been changed. Thank you so much to Super Clean. And, yeah, and O'Reilly's. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.